All right, are we live? Okay, good. All right, we're gonna go this way. Turtle Rise. We had some FUPA issues. All right, we're gonna go right here. Do it up this way. Oi, oi. All right. Think are we live now? Okay, let me just fix this shite, and we should be good. All right. Hey, cheerio, mates. Sorry about the delay there. All right, let me start this thing over. Start the podcast over. And all right, welcome folks to the Turtleboy live show. We had some issues there with the FUPA computer. I'm just gonna go with the phone. I like the phone more. The only downside of the phone is that we can't see the screen. But you know what? We can use our imagination. I got plenty of shit here I could talk about anyway. It doesn't use up a lot of bandwidth. It's better that way. We're all good. All right, so welcome to the show, folks. The Turtleboy live show. We have a special guest with us from across the pond, backed by popular demand. It's our good friend David the Druid. Is that what we're calling you, David the Druid, or just Druid?
Druid is good. Everyone calls me Druid over here. It's my nickname because of my Welsh ancestry. We are bards, poets, and druids in the land of song that is Wales.
What even is a druid?
A druid is like a bard or a priest from the ancient Celtic religion, and they're big on song, big on poetry, big on meeting at Stonehenge on the summer solstice.
Wait, is Stonehenge in Wales?
No, it's across the border. It's in I think it's in Wiltshire, but it's in the West Country. But it's sort of down to the south of Wales, round the corner.
Now, what is the point of Wales? Tell me, like, what?
What's the point?
Yeah, like what's Wales known for? What do they? When nobody ever thinks you think of Scotland sometimes because you think of Braveheart. Obviously, you think of Ireland. Right. You think of England. And what's the point of Wales? Yeah. What's the point?
Oh, what do you mean? We're a nation about the similar sort of population as Scotland. We're big on our rugby. We love rugby in Wales. That's our national game.
It seems like you guys are like you guys are like the Delaware of Europe. Like, there's no.
Well, we were the part of Britain that the Romans never invaded. They actually traded with the Welsh. We made peace with them. We said, don't send your soldiers. Here's some. We had tin and gold mines, and we had coal. We're big on coal. That was our huge industry.
Yeah, coal, excellent. So you guys are the West Virginia of Europe, then?
Much more like that. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So is that where the real blokes come from, and the fighters, the scrappers?
Yeah.
Okay, so the bunch. All right, so you guys are like the white. You guys are like Australia of. Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense now.
Yeah, full of convicts. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, folks. So welcome to the show, folks. I'm going to go ahead right now and share this live stream on the Clarence Woods Emerson page. Once again, sorry about the delay. The FUPA issue is doing its thing, but it's honestly better this way because you'll notice that the banner is facing the right direction when it's crisp. There's no issues with FUPA computer. The only downside, like I said, is you can't see what's on the screen, but the topics tonight, I don't really think we need to see the screen. We could talk about it anyway. So, and we can hear David's lovely voice. It's always charming to hear a Brit with us from across the pond. So, all right. So here's what I want, and we can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, but I have definitely a couple things I want to talk about. So I did the Callahan show. I got all my politics out of the way this morning. Were you in there this morning, David, with us?
I was in and out. I was working from home, so I was on like conference calls and things. So I was dipping in and out for 10-minute bursts.
Yeah. So what'd you think of the whole political talk about what we're talking about? Let's start with the thing that I think we disagree on, and that's the whole lockdown. Now you're pro lockdown, correct?
I think within reason, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the way this thing works, the mathematics is, it will spread exponentially if you come into contact with people. Now, what I do agree with you on is the whole public transport thing, because my daughter lives and works in London, and it's like the New York there. The public transport is still insane. People are too close together, and it's going to cause more problems than it solves.
It's true. So what? But the thing is, like, how are they supposed to stop that? Like, how is like my sister's a nurse in New York City, right? How the hell is she supposed to get to work?
Oh, yeah, exactly. My daughter's a nurse in central London.
Yeah.
She has to use the tube to get to work from where she lives, yeah.
The tube. You guys have the funniest words. I love it. So you got to take the two. Yeah, I mean, there's really not much you could do about it. I think you guys started after us. Like our outbreak, I was talking to Laura a couple times, and it hadn't really like spread to UK as much as it had. Like it went to like Italy first, then Spain, and then it came to
Italy and
America,
Spain,
and then you.
they got it earlier than us. We got it about the same time as you, from what I could tell.
It's freaking weird how that works.
Yeah.
And I assume,
I think that's contagion routes. That's who's come into contact with who, who's passed it on to who, where have those people travelled to, who have they been in contact with?
Yeah. It's just, have they shut down the channel?
Not that I'm aware of.
So you could still go to France?
I believe so, but it's got to be essential travel.
Yeah, that's
the rule.
That's why your prime minister's dying. Because you got, how the hell are you going to...
Apparently he's out of intensive care today, so he's on the mend.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the other thing. A lot of I don't think Boris Johnson is a model of fitness, do you?
He has not covered himself in glory on this as well, because it's only 3 weeks ago he was shaking hands with people saying, no, it's all okay. And you think, oh, Boris, you just brought this on yourself, didn't you, man?
He really does look like a Trump with an accent. His whole mannerisms, you know? Well, the guy's an interesting guy.
And a public school. By the way, public schools in Britain, it means something completely different. If somebody in the UK has been to a public school, that's like a private school. He had the best education money could buy because of his wealthy parents. So I'm a proper public school boy. He's not like a normal British person.
Of course. And by the way, guys, so in case you guys didn't know, we are demonetized now for like 28 more days or something like that because of Bristol Blarney. She got jealous of, she can't stop us, so she's going to try to cut off our, she knows the tricks of the trade. She worked for Turtleboy for quite some time. She knows my weaknesses. She's going to try to go after them. She's going to try to exploit them. We're just going to figure a way around it. And it honestly worked out kind of well because Google takes like 70%. No, they take a 30% cut of every dollar you donate. So now we're just doing PayPal. And so what I'm going to do right now, is it shared at the top? If you guys are feeling generous, I'll read off donations as they come in or whatever. Just so it's just like the super chat. If you donate to the fundraiser link, like Jennifer Altman says, thanks for keeping me laughing and saying during a crazy time. I'm still gonna read your good tidings on there. So it's just like super chat. We're literally just finding a way around it. That's how freaking stupid, David, these tech companies are. Think about that. All they had to do.
Oh, it's insane.
All they had to do was just exist. Right? And I'm still using their platform as it is. I'm still on YouTube right now. All they had to do is just exist and get paid. That's it. But instead, who do they cater to? Bristol Blarney. Like Bristol Blarney is costing them money now because we are going around them and giving money to PayPal, who has no soul and will just let anybody use their platform. Thank God for PayPal,
Absolutely. Except when I sent a donation over on Tuesday when I was listening.
Well, thank you.
And I'm not a wealthy man, but I sent $5. But they charged me $2 to send you the $5.
Who did? PayPal?
Yeah, at this end. Probably because it was a UK to USA transfer. I don't know.
Those bastards.
Yeah, exactly. They're skimming at both ends.
Yeah. So I don't know. People have suggested Venmo, whatever. Whatever works. Bottom line is, I'm not going to lose to Bristol freaking Blarney. She's not going to shut me up. God knows that's not going to happen. Right. That'll only happen in the reign of Queen Dick. Ain't going to happen. So we got a lot. We got some things we got to talk about tonight. One of the things I wanted to discuss came up in a blog today. So I did a blog about, it was the tofu twat waffle. This woman who decided to go down to the New Bedford Hospital. She is an anti-vaxxer. Do you guys have anti-vaxxers in England, David?
We have anti-vaxxers in Britain, and they are just as mad as the ones in the USA.
Oh, God. They're interesting. And I understand. I found out who anti-vaxxers were today just by liking the comments and people I like and stuff. So nothing personal to the anti-vaxxers. I don't get it. I really don't get what the whole, what's the argument? You get autism from it? That's the whole argument?
Well, that was disproved years ago. There was one study I think it was in Sweden about 25 years ago that said there was a possible link between autism and I think it was the triple booster, the measles, mumps, rubella booster. And that was it. The conspiracy theorists latched onto it. And then despite the fact but then about 50 studies came out and saying, actually, no, the evidence was flawed. There is no link. They like to believe the first one, not the 50 subsequent ones.
Yeah. By the way, guys, I'm posting the fundraiser in this link at the top. I'm going to post it right here. Donate to the Turtle Fund. Okay, there we go. All right. So yeah, that's like unfortunately, you know, how donate. It's like I hate being a donation thing. I really hate it, but it's one of those things where it's like I don't know what, like, because of freaking coronavirus, guys. It's like insane what's happening to ad rates. It's like fucking plummeted, like pennies on the dollar. So it is what it is. We'll figure it out. I am looking, by the way, for a salesman. I did a blog on that yesterday. I had some people contact me, whatever. I'm looking for somebody who's like enthusiastic about it, right? Preferably younger, preferably somebody that's like, you know, really believes in it, right? That wants to take Turtleboy to the next level. That because I got a product to sell here. I'm an entertainer. I'm a journalist. I'm a lot of things, but I'm not a salesman. I've never done sales. I don't have time to do it. I don't like doing sales. Other people are really built for that sort of thing. So if you are good at selling shit, I have a product here for you to sell, and that's Turtleboy, right? And what business, if you're these local businesses, right, David? They have, you know, let's suppose the business has $5,000 a month to spend on advertising. They got to put it somewhere. And traditionally, where do you think they go? Advertisers.
Well, they go to, well, if they're a small business, they want to advertise locally where their trade is going to come from.
Yeah, so traditionally that, you know, medium has been newspapers and stuff like that, right? But nobody reads it. I mean, you're literally burning money. You might as well literally just burn money. And what I say is like, Turtleboy, come here and actually be seen. Yes, there is a slight amount of controversy that comes along with advertising on Turtleboy. I get that. Believe me. We say words like Fupaslath. Oh no, not Fupaslath. The world might burn. But the point is, you advertise to be seen. You pay to be seen. You pay to get clicked. And we have literally the most loyal readers in the world. So if you're good at selling, and I'm serious, guys, if you are, think about it. And I said younger because I need somebody with like nothing to lose almost. Like once you have a wife and kids, I mean, you're a married guy. I mean, you married, David? You got kids, you said.
No, I'm getting married later this year. For the second time. I've got 3 kids. My kids are 22, 20, and 16.
So you know how it is. Once you have kids, I guess my point is that like shit gets real and you don't have time. You don't have the luxury of like experimenting with new jobs. You know what I mean?
Not at all.
Right.
Not at all. No, you can't take the risks that you can when you're a young single person.
Exactly. Like I left teaching, my wife had just gotten pregnant, and I'm like, it's now or never. Like I'm not gonna have this option to just leave and start a new career once I get a crash fruit and changing diapers and stuff like that. So I needed to make the move then. And so that's why I said, you know, it can be somebody that's older, that's fine too. But somebody that's younger and really wants that can envision, you got to be able to envision Turtleboy in the future as, you know, a platform that can become more than just me in my freaking basement, essentially. And that's because that's what's holding us back. I can keep doing this forever, David. I can literally keep churning out blogs every day, getting money into super chat, whatever it takes. I can make, but that's not growth. You know what I mean? You don't want to just run in place forever. No. Right. So you need to grow.
You're going to be looking at what's the next level? What's the new thing that you're going on for? What's the next stage?
Right.
You've got a podcast. Is it going to be more professional? Is it going to be bigger? Is it going to be a national audience?
Exactly. And for that, of course, and people always say, it's like, well, your podcast sucks. It does. I'm not going to lie. The production, I mean, I'm in my freaking basement. Look at the background here. It's bootleg as shit. But like the Bristol podcast, obviously the content blows. We all know that. But obviously they invested in a studio and it looked good. That's why people watched it. Like literally it didn't matter that they were just obsessing over the same people every week. All you have to do is make it look nice and people will watch it. I should that shit matters. And so I'm trying to I envision
professional, yeah.
Right.
Said, the content itself was poor. It was, look what Josh Abrams is doing this week. But it looked far more professional than a basement. Yeah,
exactly.
I agree with that.
So if you're thinking about something like that, if you're listening out there right now or on the podcast later on, just think about it. You know, maybe that this could be a move for you. It's a chance. You could start off doing it part-time, obviously. It'd be commission-based, but you could be part of something big here, man. You know, I look at, you ever watch, so you're a lefty. So you're a Young Turks guy?
I've heard of the Young Turks. I've not ever seen it, I've got to say.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the Young Turks and Steven Crowder are the two big political channels. One's right wing, one left wing. But it's like they make a living doing that. And they do, like, obviously, they have like 5 million subscribers and shit like that. We could easily be something like that. A lot of people do shit. It just has to improve. And I'm willing to make the investment. But again, it has to come with revenue. And for that, you need a sales guy. So chicken before the egg kind of thing. It is what it is. Anyway, we were talking about, I believe, goddamn, this woman that didn't want to vaccinate her kids. All right. She has emailed me today. She's all upset. She's getting a lawyer. I'll read that email to you in a moment. But she busts into the hospital. And this, I guess, is a national trend that people are literally, to try to prove that coronavirus isn't real or something like that. I don't even know what they're trying to prove. They're going to hospitals and they're filming like the waiting room and they're saying, oh, see, no one's here. It's all a big hoax. No one's actually getting the coronavirus. I don't know if they have this in England, David.
They've had exactly the same thing. Well, I'm not sure about with the filming, but I've seen comments that, oh, waiting rooms. A friend of mine bust his ankle up, silly fool, out running the other day. And he went to accident and emergency and he put a message up saying, it's empty. It's brilliant. I got seen because people are actually being sensible. They're not going to hospital with minor stuff to try and halt the contagion. And it means the staff, everyone who's actually ill, is on the wards. They're not in waiting rooms. They're in beds.
I don't think they're doing it because they're noble. I think they're doing it because they don't want to get the bug. Like if I had an injury right now where I was like iffy, like should I go to the hospital? It's really hurting, whatever. I'd be more inclined right now to tough it out because I don't want to go anywhere near a hospital. Like that's like you're guaranteed to catch it. It's like I'm scared to go to the freaking grocery store. I feel disgusting when I go to freaking Big Y, just walking around there. It's like I went there a few days ago, and it's like you're literally living in the apocalypse. Every single person you see, they're fucking looking at you weird and shit. Like, is he breathing on me? Am I 6 feet apart? Does he have a mask on? Well, I'm not a mask guy yet. Are you?
No. I went shopping today, actually, as soon as I finished work, because I needed to stock up on, I needed food for my fridge and my freezer. And I went in and I had to queue to get into the supermarket and we stood 2 meters apart. People were very sensible and they were friendly. And then one woman came and stood right next to me and started coughing. And I'm going, oh, God, no, the plague.
The plague. Yeah, so, I just, it's a weird world that we're living in right now with all this shit going on. I just kind of want it to end, obviously. I'm in the minority here. I think that's one thing. I've had enough of this shit. I've had enough freaking quarantine. I just don't. Here's my question, David. At what point does it end? Like, how do you? It doesn't end until nobody has it, right?
Well, like any of these pandemics, it ends when it's under control. And what you really need for that is a vaccine. And what you need
but that takes like a year.
Until we've got a vaccine, which is, the things. Why the anti-vaxxers are lunatics is we don't have smallpox in the world. Polio is virtually eradicated because of vaccines.
Yes.
Once we get one for this, we can get the herd immunity up from vaccines. You don't get herd immunity from having the disease. So you just try and limit and minimize the amount of people who get infected until we can vaccinate. And that's what the lockdown and isolation is all about, is minimizing that spread so the healthcare system can handle those people, the numbers that are actually infected. And it also keeps the numbers down until the vaccine comes along. And they are working on that.
But that's going to take like a year. But what are we supposed to lock down until then?
As best you can, yes.
Come on. I mean, it's like, so restaurants are just never going to open for, because that's going to take like a year.
Well, that's the public businesses are the ones that are going to be impacted.
Yeah.
I work for an insurance company. We've been told for years, you can't work at home. It's not impossible. It's not possible. We can't do it.
Yeah,
We're all at home now.
Yeah,
apparently it is possible. Yeah, so there are things you can do. But you're quite right. There are some businesses that can't work from home.
There is this chick. She's on CNN. She looks like a dude. Her name is Sally Cohn, and she wrote one of the most freaking oblivious tweets. Let me guys read this tweet from you. This is how the mainstream media works. She says, and I shit you not. She says, "I'm really tired of reading how business owners." I got to do it with my girl voice. I'm really tired of reading how business owners are, quote unquote, forced to lay off workers. No one made them do that. They chose to do that. Not saying it isn't a hard choice during a hard time, but to say they were forced obscures their agency and casts owners and CEOs as the victims. Oh, and then she responds. So she got ratioed. You know what ratioed means, Dave?
Yeah. I do indeed. It's when the negative comments batter the positive comments and the retweets.
It's when Twitter fucks you in the ass, basically. And so she got a healthy ratio. You should have at least 10 times the amount of likes as you do to replies. This woman has 10,000 replies and 1,000 likes. She got the exact opposites. So she responds to the ratio and she says, oh lordy, Twitter. Grasp the nuance of what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's not a hard, sometimes impossible decision, but it's still a decision, a choice. Think about the meaning implications of the word forced. No one is literally being forced to lay off workers. And that attitude in general, that businesses and owners take certain steps because they have to, as opposed to because they chose to, helps mask exploitation of workers in general in a million other ways. Oh, for fuck's sake. That is the voice right there, David, of somebody who isn't going through coronavirus the same way a lot of other people have. She's not affected by this in any way. She's working for CNN or the Washington Post, whatever bullshit news outlet. Who's she working for now? She's working for USA Today, even better. She's working for the newspaper, and she's getting paid the same friggin' amount. Her job is not on the line at all. She gets to work from home anyway. And she's just like, oh my God, business owners are like so cruel for like cutting people. Why don't you just like go bankrupt instead? Like, and just go out of business. I mean, it's like freaking, this is what we're up against. And that's the shit when I read that, when I'm like, fuck this, end this shit now. I just want people like this to be unhappy. I kind of want her to get coronavirus.
That's a little harsh and a little cruel, but I get.
Well, not die. She's healthy, so she'll live.
With reality, that is the problem. Yeah. There are businesses that simply can't work from home, and they cannot reduce their output. And they're either working or they're not. Yeah, and that's just the nature of the economy that they are in.
Yeah. So this chick is, when I read that, it's like for her to say, what'd she say? One more time. This is ridiculous. She goes, no one made them do that. Bitch, that is the voice of somebody who's never owned a business, right? Who's never had to make a tough financial decision in her entire life to actually say that. Because these people are living in this fantasy world, right? Where business owners, they're all just rich CEOs and money is pouring out of their pockets. But that's not the case. Most business owners in this country are people that are barely getting by. Right? They're people that are owning mom and pop shops or owning a startup business or whatever. You mentioned even insurance, right? There's a lot of small insurance companies around here. Like not all insurance companies are big conglomerates, right? Even like you see the price of gas? Is it down in England too?
Yeah, I've done about in the 3 weeks I've been working from home, I've done about 10 miles in my car in total. It's saving me a fortune. And the price...
I'm saying...
it's not just supply and demand. It's not just supply and demand because there is a price war going on between Saudi Arabia and Russia at the moment over the crude oil. Yeah. So, we're down petrol's down about 20%.
Petrol. You guys and your words. Here I'm told it's like $1.75 or something like that, down from like whatever $2.50 or $2.60 it was before. And I'll tell you one thing, I didn't even know because I haven't filled up my tank since this freaking crisis started. And I go days without driving my freaking car. It's a weird feeling, like to put no mileage on your car at all. It's like, why do we even have? I feel like I want a refund on my excise tax. I don't know if that's a foreign word.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm not using it.
Yeah. It's absolutely obscene. So back to this anti-vaxxer chick. So this chick busts into the school. I think she has since taken down her page, which I'm alarmed by because she seems like one of these anti-vaxxing people that just lives for the fight. Like anti-vaxxers live to tell you about anti-vaxxers. This is her. I'll play the audio. You guys won't be able to see it. So she's walking into the hospital, okay, with her iPhone vertically, of course. Here she goes.
Hi. Oh, I have to come here? Oh, I just wanted to see something real quick. Okay? No, I just wanted to see how empty the hospital was.
Okay.
Thanks. Have a good
She just goes in, takes a quick glance around, goes out, and she's going to go to her car.
You see that?
Oh, you see that? Empty.
Empty hospital.
Oh my God.
Empty parking lot.
Holy shit.
I literally parked right in front with the emergency. There was like 4 spots open. There's only like 6 spots anyways.
You parked in a handicap spot, bitch.
Meanwhile, I wanted to go return my stuff to Shaw's. My boyfriend bought me some flour that I couldn't use because it's not gluten-free, and they have like 30 people in line waiting 6 feet apart, wrapped around the building. But look at this. Empty, bro.
Empty, bro.
Empty.
Oh my God,
empty,
she cracked
empty,
the
and they wouldn't
case.
even let me go in.
She cracked the case.
I literally had to just be rude and say, "Oh, I'm just gonna see something real quick." Empty. St. Luke's Hospital, New Bedford, Massachusetts. Empty. There wasn't one person in that waiting room.
Not one. Holy fucking shit.
Because they don't want coronavirus.
Not one.
The deep state, guys. It's QAnon. It's all a big scam. Here we are thinking this was a big thing. But little did we know about this woman in New Bedford and her iPhone, guys. She's not fucking around. She went into there. She saw nobody in the lobby of the ER. Therefore, it's all a scam. Not realizing, of course, that the policy that these hospitals have in place is they don't allow people to congregate because it's going to be a bunch of freaking sick people, and they're not going to let them sit together in the freaking lobby and spread coronavirus all over each other and take a freaking bath in coronavirus. It's not going to happen. So this chick, of course, she sends me an email today. So we'll get to the email in 1 second. Let's talk about first the reaction that I've got from this. From one line. I had one. So I don't know if you're familiar with Turtleboy blogs, David, but I use this thing called satire from time to time. Are you familiar with it?
Satire, yes, I'm very aware of it. It's one of the reasons that attracted me to your blog in the first place.
Excellent, excellent. So I had a line in there, and let's see if I can pull it up. It was something to the extent.
I know where this is going.
Yeah, it was something to the extent of. Let me find it.
It said,
"Go ahead.
People like this. People, anti-vaxxers are like atheists. They're always right, and they want to prove that to you how smart they are."
There you go. And they want to tell you about it, right? That's the big thing. First of all, it's a joke. Yeah. That's what I do. I make jokes and shit like that. But jokes also have like an element of truthfulness to them. You just stretch it. That's what makes it humorous, right? And I'm sorry. I was literally proven right today by the reaction. And you were one of them, David. You were one of them. Like all these.
I was.
Okay, so speak your case. Go ahead.
No, it wasn't a case. I thought you were being serious. I really thought you were bracketing us with I missed the satire. It went over my head.
Oh, gotcha.
I should move to Jamaica and become a limbo dancer. It went that far over my head. But I missed it.
No, it's all good. So people, like, I'm just going to read something for you. All right. Somebody says, atheists use peer-reviewed scientific facts to make informed decisions. I don't know about. Are you an atheist, David?
Very much.
Do you use peer-reviewed scientific facts to make your informed decision?
No, that's more peer-reviewed studies are for scientific experiments and things like that. I like the physics of the universe and the science of the universe. Yeah. I like the scientific explanation for existence.
Okay.
But I don't rely on peer-reviewed articles for that.
Okay, so I believe in God, but I certainly can't prove there's a God. I mean, that's the word believe indicates that, like, you kind of have to go out on a limb here. You're not sure, you just believe it, right? Like that's literally the whole point. You have faith. That's why they call it faith, because you don't know for sure. You just have faith in it. So I just believe. Or if God was 100% real and we all agreed on it, we wouldn't have to say I believed in God. We would just talk about God like it's like, duh, of course. But we don't. Like, you have to say you believe in God. So I believed in God, and I don't want to convince anybody that there's God. I don't really give a fuck what you do, right? It's none of my business, right? I just happen to believe in it. So, but how can you prove that there isn't a God? How do you prove that?
Well, the onus is on you to prove that there is. You're coming from.
Why do I have to prove anything?
I see no evidence for it. It's all about faith.
Yeah.
So the onus is on you to prove that he is there, because there is no evidence. I'm happy to sit here and say,
why do I have to prove
I don't
anything?
believe because of the lack of evidence.
It would be on me to prove something if I wanted to convince you, which I don't.
Well, I don't want to convince you. I'm just saying I can't see any evidence, and I'm happy with the no evidence.
There we go. So, but that's the thing. So you're better than some of these people. So these people are coming at me, telling me stuff. Let me read some more ones here. Let's see. So this is a funny comment. Wait, she returned her flowers from her boyfriend? They weren't gluten-free. No, just flour. and of course, Of course she's gluten-free.
So,
of course she doesn't give her
flowers. Yeah.
Of course she doesn't give her crotch fruits meat or dairy, because God forbid the kids enjoy life. You know, like they have to be as miserable as her and eat a freaking tofu enchilada for freaking lunch.
God.
Oh my God. I mean, okay, if you want to live that way, fine. Have your kids make that choice on their own. See what I'm saying? I mean,
I can be very righteous on this subject because me and my ex-wife are both vegetarians.
Yeah.
But when the kids were little, we fed them the whole shebang.
There you go.
Yeah, whatever. We never even mentioned we were vegetarians. It was not a topic. We let them eat what they needed for nutrition to grow up healthy children, and they can do what they like now. They're adults. That's up to them. But it was never even mentioned in the household. We did not inflict that upon them.
Yeah, I mean, and you see there the picture. I did put a link to the woman's Facebook. I'm not going to post a picture of the kid on the website. I'm not going to do it. However, if you put them on your Facebook page, and your Facebook page is public, right? You can't blame me. And some people got mad at me for this. I put a link to the woman's pictures, and then you could see the kids' pictures on there. The only reason I did that is because I thought the girl looked unhealthy. She looked it's clearly like she's like bragging, like, oh, my kid's healthy, blah, blah. It's like, kid don't look so healthy. Just because they're not fat doesn't mean they're not healthy. You know what I mean?
I've not seen the pictures, but I'll take your word for it, absolutely.
Yeah, like the child was incredibly thin, like it didn't look healthy. Yeah. And so, some people have come at me for that. Maybe that's the reason she took her page down, because she did email me. If I could bring this email up. Oh my God, it was an email for the ages. Here she is. Let's see what she writes. She writes this. You can post whatever you would wish about myself, but take down the link to my daughter's picture. I will wait 1 hour, then call my attorney if it's still up. Anita Garcia. Well, joke's on you, because you can't call your attorney because they've shut down attorneys thanks to coronavirus. And then she goes, I didn't post the picture. You did. I go, feel free to take it down yourself. Like, you literally have the power to restrict your privacy settings so that when people click on that link, they don't see the image. You understand that? Like, that's why I didn't post the actual image in the blog. And I go, and vaccinate your goddamn kids, because that girl looks sick as shit. That's what I wrote to her. And that's the truth. It's like, because the woman's playing the whole card, because she did another YouTube video. You see the second YouTube video she made? Or a Facebook video?
No, only saw the one at the hospital. Yeah.
Oh, she didn't.
Other thing, just to mention,
go ahead.
Anti-vaxxers, the other thing they do is, okay, they're inflicting that on their own kids, but if there is enough of them, you lose your herd immunity amongst, especially the young people, and things like chicken pox and mumps and measles and childhood illnesses. You're not just affecting your own children, you are increasing the risk on other people as well. It's shameful behavior.
It really is. There's no excuse for it. Vaccinate your freaking kids. I understand. On my wife's side of the family, there was an incident with a vaccine, and one of the kids got like a little fucked up from it. And I can understand apprehension from it. Something went wrong with it. I forget exactly. I don't remember the whole story. But she is understandably concerned about it. So I do get. But overall, like, you got to play the odds. And the percentages are that your kids are going to be much, much, much better off health-wise if they get freaking vaccinated. Like, goddamn polio and shit. I mean, you want your kid to get fucking polio?
Yeah.
Like, they can get it. Like, that's a natural thing if you don't get the fucking vaccine. So we had these anti-vaxxers come to the page and shit. So this is and the woman says, I feel sorry for you. I'll be contacting my attorney. So maybe I'll be hearing from her attorney about this. I don't know what they're going to sue me over, deformation, who knows. Anyway, back to these turtle riders that are coming at me. If I could read some of these, they're saying, let's see, where'd it go? There's so many. Oh, really? There's some crazy anti-vaxxers out there, but there are a lot more of us who are ex-vaxxers because our child suffered serious adverse effects from vaccines. Please don't. I mean, that's a fair argument, no? If you lived,
I understand that. But what she has to realize is that adverse reactions to vaccines are tiny percentages. They are,
right.
And don't get me wrong, it would be great if they were 100% effective, but some people, some people are allergic to gluten, like her.
Yeah.
We're not all physically exactly the same, and some people will have different reactions than others.
That's like
but
saying
the vast majority of people are healthier because of vaccination.
That's like saying that, I got in a car accident and I got strangled by my seatbelt. Therefore, I'm never going to wear a seatbelt again in a car.
Bingo.
It's like you got to play the odds. Like, I understand something bad happened to you, but there's all these people. I'm like going through them all. Oh man, vaccines literally have mercury. Oh god, these fucking anti-vaxxers.
Not the mercury thing. Oh god.
I gotta be honest. There's like not the mercury thing. There's all these fucking people that like are normal commenters. And then I found out today that they're anti-vaxxers, and I don't know how to look at them. Like, I don't want to look at them badly, and I won't. I'm just going to forget. I'm going to pretend like I didn't see it. I don't want to argue with them about it. But I had no idea that there were this amount of turtle riders that are anti-vaxxers.
I've discovered friends on Facebook since the coronavirus is coming in, and some of the and I'm going like, I really like this person, but how do I reply to the nonsense they're posting here without offending them?
Yeah.
Because I want to say to them, you're an idiot.
Guy, using the atheist angle as an analogy is just plain ridiculous. So all these people are, I think some people might have deleted this because I did post about, you're not allowed to make jokes about it. This feed was filled with comments today of people saying, don't compare us atheists to anti-vaxxers. We're not crazy like them. I don't think you're crazy like them, but I do think, from my experience with atheists, they let me know they're atheists real quickly, and they want to fucking tell me about it. And not only that, there's this smear. I don't want to stereotype, but that's kind of something I do, is stereotype. I get a lot of from atheists. I get a lot of like, oh, you believe in the pie in the sky? You believe in the fairy tale of God? What? You don't believe in science? And blah, blah, blah. It's like, nah, I just fucking want to believe in something that's bigger than me. How about that? I'm a little fucking scared that when I die, like, what the fuck's the point of all this? Maybe I just want to believe in a fucking fairy tale. Maybe it just makes me feel better about myself. I don't freaking know. I do. I can't explain why, period. It makes me feel good. It's like, and they're always just trying to be a downer, David, atheist. They're always trying to be like, ha, ha, ha. See, there's no point to any of this. We all just fucking die and then nothing. So, you see what I'm saying? How do atheists get through the day?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I understand that's the reason why people believe, is because it gives you a happy ending.
Oh, I love a happy ending. Yeah.
Laura makes a good point in the comments here. I've just seen it. She says, I don't think people saw it as a joke because you are Mr. Religious Guy. So because
I'm not Mr. Religious Guy.
You're a religious man.
Time out. What gave people, I'm Mr. Religious Guy? Where'd that come from? Where do people get this idea? I'm Mr. Religious. Have I ever tried pushing my religion in the blog?
I've never seen you do religious comments per se. What I have seen recently, and you mentioned it on Callahan podcast this morning, about abortion clinics being open, and that is something that does stem from the religious ideology of the Catholic Church.
Well, time out. First of all, I'm not even getting into abortion. I'm just saying I didn't even take a position pro-life or pro-choice in that. I was just throwing that out there as a tactic to end the shutdown. You get that, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, like,
you're saying some places are open and some places are aren't, and where's the priority?
Well, yeah, my point was, I'm like, conservatives are turning around on ending the lockdown, but liberals are on board. And how do you get liberals on board? You ban abortion, and then they get on board. That was the only point I was making with that. I wasn't, like, trying to overturn Roe versus Wade or anything like that. So I want to be clear on that.
No.
And...
Okay, how'd you clarify that?
There are a lot of pro-life people out there who aren't religious. Like, I understand majority of it, like the Catholic Church teaches like anti-abortion and shit like that, but there's plenty of people who aren't religious that are not pro-choice. You know what I mean? For different, not for religious reasons, for like they believe for scientific reasons. You know, everybody's got their reasons. So like, I'll never ever back up any of my opinions with God ever, because it's not a good argument to say well, even though I believe in God, right? I'll never attempt to use God or anything like that as like a proof of, to back up my opinion, because it's a weak argument. Because if you don't believe in it, then it means shit, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You can't use a 2,000-year-old scripture as a logical argument. Agreed, 100%.
I also can't use something that you don't agree with. As you know, we have to find something that, like, I can use, whatever, something that's scientific that I can actually show you, and I could say, see, here's proof. You agree this is proof, right? But if you don't believe in the Bible and you don't believe in the things that are there, then it's not fucking proof, is it?
No.
To you, exactly. Exactly. So it's a weak argument, so I'll never, ever use my, religious faith or anything like that. Yeah, I mean, I grew up a Catholic. I'm still a Catholic, but I kind of, one thing I like about being Catholic is it kind of gives you victimization status. That's my one victim card. Because David,
victimization is the big thing these days. You've got that card. You've got something. Apparently, my parents told me a few years ago. Apparently, I'm Catholic as well. I was christened in a Catholic church.
Oh, that's a rarity in England.
It is. I mean, I'm 52 now, so I don't know if it was more common back then. I'm not religious at all, but apparently, if push came to shove, that particular denomination, I'm a Catholic.
Now,
I don't believe any of it. I am one.
We've had in the United States, we've had as many black presidents as Catholic ones.
Was JFK the only one?
That's the only one, man. We've only had one Catholic. So my people are oppressed. That actually almost cost them his Catholic faith, because this is a Protestant country and they didn't like Catholics because Catholics have a fucking pope. The Protestants hate the pope. They hate the idea that like orders were coming from Rome. They detested that idea. So they always looked at us differently, man. So my people need to be free. See what I'm saying? Joe Biden's a Catholic. He could be number 2.
I don't think he will be.
You don't think he will be? Okay.
He will be.
We'll see.
Well, he's just coming across as this doddery old man, isn't he? And whether you like Trump or you don't, and I'm not a Trump supporter by any stretch of the imagination, Trump is going to win because at least he concentrates on issues that ordinary mainstream Americans care about.
Yeah, but
he's not there.
But people vote for him.
He's not there for minority interests. He's saying the right
Joe.
things.
He's Joe. And that's what's got him to where he is. Like, he's killing it in the primaries. He murdered everybody. He just he struggled at first, and then he just ran away with it. And you look at the polls, like, Trump people, you guys should be nervous. We should be nervous out there. This is a coin toss, I'm telling you. Right? Like, I look at the polls, like, Trump has to win. He won 3 states last time that got him the election. Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Michigan. The polls right now in Pennsylvania and Michigan aren't as good because in those 2 states, Joe Biden is a lot more popular than Hillary Clinton was. People will like Joe. He's like your old harmless grandfather that says funny shit. Whereas Hillary Clinton, they looked at her and she's like that's a vapid fucking evil cunt. I ain't voting for that cunt. Whereas like Joe, they're like, Sleepy Joe. He says some funny shit sometimes. He's good enough. That's all it's going to take to win those states. So then you got to win Wisconsin. And it's like dead even in Wisconsin. I'm telling you, it's going to come down to that one freaking state that gives us freaking cheese and milk, and they're going to decide the goddamn election. And Stephen Avery, that's what that state's giving us. They decide the election. So we'll see what happens. I'm telling you, Trump people should not. It's not in the bag, man. We got work to do. I just want to keep Sleepy Joe talking. You know what I mean? Keep him talking. The more he says, the better.
Are you saying that Trump won because Hillary Clinton literally stirred up more animosity? They perceive Biden as much more harmless than her.
Oh, completely. I think that's why Biden has a much better shot than her, is because he doesn't turn people off. Like, he's like, yeah, I mean, he's obviously senile and he's not all there in the head, and it's comical sometimes, but people like comical. Trump is comical. Hillary Clinton had no personality whatsoever, and she was just like, oh man, I'm not voting for that bitch. Like all those Obama voters, they just stayed home. They didn't want to. Obama, he got people to come to the polls. He got people to believe in him, right? And Joe, like, he's not Obama, but they're like, yeah, whatever. He's Joe. He's fucking there. He'll just 4 years. I mean, he's gonna die anyway. Just pick a good vice president. Like, that's what people are gonna be concerned with. And telling you, we don't want that. It's not good. It's not good. So, All right. So here's my next question, David. Is let's talk about Ratchet Madness for a moment. So,
let's do that.
We got to talk about this. So, in case you guys, I'm gonna announce the winners of the final region, the Trap Queen region. This region, not a single one of these is close. They're all blowouts. The closest I've seen is like 65 to 35. So you tell me, David, who you think won each matchup. First one.
Okay. Let's have a look. Go ahead.
Kate Peter against Springfield Poon Pinatas. Who'd you vote for, and who do you think won?
I voted for Bristol, and she's going to rump that.
Yes.
She's going to be 85-50.
She's got about 88 right now. 88.
There you go.
And then we had Red Bull Rondon and Trap Queen Tracy versus Luke Noble.
Now I'd have gone Luke Noble all the way on that one. I voted for Luke Noble.
Yeah. He's winning about. He's winning 75 to 25. He's winning that right now. So that's going to be a hell of a matchup in the second round. Then we have in the next one, the 4 seed Shane Hoban against the 13 seed, the Chicopee Herpesaurus and the Afty Kings.
See, that for me is about the closest one. But Shane Hoban is revolting, and he got my vote.
Yeah, I voted for Shane too, but he's losing 70 to 30. So he's out. Wow. He's done. The Chicopee Herpesaurus, the 13 seed, is going to advance. Then it brings us to the next one, the 5 seed, Humpty Dumpty. The woman who robbed the veteran 3 times while he was in the hospital having his leg amputated, versus Failure Swift.
Now, Failure Swift, and people may forget this, she's been around for 13, 14 months. So the first 2 months were in last year. A lot of the stuff she's done was this year, and I voted. She was one of my favourites last year.
Yeah.
And she didn't get as far as that, but I think Failure Swift is going to be a shoo-in in that one.
Yeah, she's winning pretty easily. She's winning, I think, 72, something like that, to 28. So she's going to run away with that one. She's going to advance. So we have a 12 against a 13 there. Then we go to the next one. Nikki Evans, the firefighter's wife, widow, against the Granny Panty Grande from the plane.
Yeah, Granny Panty Grande's one incident on a plane. Yeah, lunacy.
Yeah.
Very, very funny.
Yeah.
But
that's like 8.
Got Nikki Evans.
Yeah.
She could go the whole way.
She could, man.
She's a vile.
She's terrible. She's terrible. I agree. So that's 83 to 17. Nikki Evans is winning right now. So she's going to advance. Then we have the Haverhill plus-size pinata, the woman that wanted to kill Trump because he wanted to cut food stamps. That's the funniest shit I've ever seen. Against King Vagrant and Mama Cheese Hog, who came on the live stream in a van. Who do you think's winning that one?
That's an interesting one.
That's the closest one.
I voted for the mama and the guy in the van because they came on the show for Ratchet Redemption and did not redeem themselves. No, they did not redeem
themselves at all. That was the one where I got really high, that episode. That's 62 to 38. The King Vagrant is winning that one. So that is the closest matchup. Then we had Vicky Vicodin, the Bangor, Maine chick who robbed the elderly and pretended to have a baby with her husband, and I think they were planning on killing somebody and taking the baby, I think, before she went to jail, against Miss Meth Massachusetts, who was caught banging in the backseat of a car and then hacked up 3 dudes with a machete.
Yeah, Vicky Vicodin was my vote. I'm expecting she's winning easy. Because
very easily.
She's going to take a baby out of a living person, I think.
Yeah, she was a little lower seated than she should have been. So she went about 75 to 25. And then finally, Landon Steele against the Free Wedding Lesbo Cheese Hog.
Well, who's not voting for Landon? The government's
he's got like
Landon. Joe Biden sending for Landon.
Yeah, so that's about 75 to 25. So there, we have our final 32 now. That was the only bracket where literally nobody. So who do you, let me just give you some matchups. I'm going to run through them real quick. You tell me who you think is going to win these matchups. Lorena against Kayla Card, the woman who was selling, I think, toilet paper last week, and she got busted for dog abuse. Who do you like?
Oh, Lorena's going to murder her.
Revered DCF Junkies against the New Bedford dog abuser. Who do you like?
Oh, close one. That I think the Junkies.
I like the Junkies too in that one. Camel Tow Truck Girl against the Brockton Poontang Plow, who didn't like the way your driveway was plowed.
Oh yeah, Danielle's going.
Yeah, it's got to be Danielle. I agree. The Nashua Nut Serpent. That chick who's going to jail for life for selling heroin is a complete ratchet. Against Amber Carmark, the Weymouth Weinstein who faked her own kidnapping, came on the show, pretended to be abused, hit her boyfriend over the phone with the same phone that she was using to tape him eating her snatch with.
Yeah. Oh,
It's a tough one.
You see, the nuts is I voted for her first round.
Yeah.
And I think she's a dark horse, but she's up against a tough one there, but I'm going Nutserpent on
I'm going up. I'm agreeing with that completely. So then we got Hadassah against the Tinder Tuna Flap. Who do you like?
Tinder Tuna Flap all the way on that one.
Over, against Hadassah.
Rape every time you go on a date with some guy, she's going through.
See, I would take Hadassah simply because Hadassah's got the whole ratchet package. She's literally a gypsy who moved here from Florida.
You're too personally invested in that one.
No, I mean the other one's just mentally insane, like completely mentally insane.
Absolutely insane.
Hadassah is a full-blown ratchet who has been a ratchet. I mean, she owns a fucking animal farm. Like wherever she goes, she has like exotic animals and shit, and moves from state to state.
Exotic.
Yeah. So then we have R. Smelly, the most brazen rapist I think of all time, against the Whitensville crack donkey. I love that lady. I'm voting for her. It's got to be her.
I'm going R. Smelly on that one.
Oh, really? Okay. So all right. I think R. Smelly's going to lose. And I think the Whitensville crack donkey is then going to beat Hadassah. So I do think she's going to take that one down because that chick's ratchet as hell.
She is.
Yeah. Then we have Kim Nelligan, the woman who laced her daughters, put her daughter to bed with heroin. And made that terrible video afterwards. And then against the La Calora, the Worcester meat wallet mom.
Oh God! Oh yes, if you kill a baby, you're going the distance.
Gotta be Kim Nelligan. Gotta be her. Then the Tiverton Gouda Gremlin, who almost took a dump on the live show, against Brian Dolan, who arguably was involved, or at least drove his daughter to the point where she died, his stepdaughter.
Yeah. Brian Dolan.
Yeah, I like Brian Dolan. And then Kim Nelligan against Brian Dolan. There's two terrible people. Who do you like in that one?
Yeah, Brian Dolan was the one who just, he was posting Bruins memes while his stepdaughter was missing, for God's sake.
Yeah, I like Kim Nelligan. I'd like Kim Nelligan against the Whitensville crack donkey. And I think, I don't know what I said I think I said Nelligan for the Final Four, but that could go either way. In that top one, I definitely like, I think Lorena's going to... I think Lorena has a real tough matchup with the revered DCF junkies. I think they're very. That's going
to be. Yeah. That is going to be. I mean,
that whole bracket.
That's some serious levels of chav going on.
Now, what'd you think of what'd you think of Billy Tibbetts and Rizzy both being eliminated in the first round?
You see, I voted. I didn't vote for Billy. I like Billy ever since he beat up Josh in jail. Billy, I kind of like the guy.
I know.
I like him.
He did. I mean, that's an unfair thing. He literally, he was so ratchet, and then he beat up Josh in jail, and he became like a folk hero. Like, God damn it, Billy.
Exactly.
Don't make me like you. But then he went right back to jail for freaking selling cocaine to an undercover. Like, he's out of jail for 2 days. And then he went on the run. It's like, oh, God, Billy. So Billy's gone.
It's like a bad film, isn't it?
Yeah. I can't believe Rizzy lost. I mean, those guys were so ratchet. And they lost to the guy, the foreskin Fabnado, Matthew Brown. He's just a piece of shit who just sexually harassed. He's a creep. I definitely think Rizzy's more ratchet than him.
I voted for Rizzy. I thought he was going to win easy as well.
And the foreskin Fabnado.
Foreskin Fabnado, I don't know how to pronounce that. Yeah, exactly.
So who do you like out of the mustard? Kylie versus the mustard meat flap.
Wow. Now see, I voted mustard meat flap first round.
I didn't. I voted for
Kylie. Yeah. Kylie has taken on the whole of the USA with her scams, and the first time I came on the show was 3 weeks ago tonight.
Yeah.
It was the day she got arrested.
Right. That's right.
That was so much fun because that was a victory for proper journalism. Yeah. We talked about that at the time.
It was.
And so, Kylie all the way. Kylie all the way.
Yeah, definitely like Kylie. And so who do you think comes out of this one? The foreskin Fapnado and the Jared the jet ski junkie?
He's a dark horse as well because, he left a woman to die.
Yeah, I'm voting for him. I'm voting for him. Yeah. Definitely.
He got my vote first round, and he's getting it again.
And then I think Kylie's going to beat whoever comes out of that. So I think she's going to make the Elite Eight. And then we have at the bottom, Amanda Sawyer won easily. She got 73%. And the Pawtucket murder couple, that's going to be a tough matchup for her. Who do you like there?
What was it?
I like Amanda.
Amanda's.
Yeah.
Amanda, yeah.
Definitely like Amanda. And then down the bottom, Manuel Lucero was the closest one of any matchup. He won 52-48 over the Mass Health Mastodon. He'll be going against Bitch Tits. We both agree Bitch Tits going to win that one?
Oh, shame. That's a shame because I'd like to have seen both those advance.
Yeah, it is.
Daniel, we've got to thank him for the live police call from Arizona on the show. We've got a lot to thank him for.
I know.
He did a great lawyer impersonation as well when he called you.
Now that brings
it's got to be big.
Yeah,
it's got to be.
Now that brings an interesting matchup. Bitch Titch against Amanda Sawyer for the right to go against Kylie.
Wow. That's a big matchup.
Yes.
I like Amanda Sawyer. If those two meet, I'm going Amanda Sawyer to beat Josh.
I like Bitch Tits, and I think Bitch Tits is going to beat Kylie. I think he's going to the Final Four.
I think I told you I got abusive messages off him threatening my kids and my fiance because I told him he's a coward and he should come on the show about 6 months ago. Yeah, it was hysterical.
He's such a coward. He's such a pussy. He would never do it. He's out there celebrating. I love how these people are celebrating the demonetization. Yeah. And let me refresh this. Let's see. Josh is out there celebrating right now the demonetization that the channel got, not realizing that people can still donate in a fundraiser. And I'd like to thank, speaking of that, let's see. JB says, long live the turtle. Thank you, JB. Shannon says, Turtleboy never dies. You got that right. Thank you, Shannon A. Suzanne says, hashtag drenched for David. 4 months till his wedding. Excellent. Rich Bridges says, Turtle Power. David rules. You're very popular, David. And
I'm glad to hear it. Listen, I love being on this show. It's cathartic and it's very, very enjoyable, to just vent your spleen at the world.
Oh, we love having you. And Lauren, I thank you. Lauren says, adapt, improvise, and overcome. Fuck YouTube. That's the spirit that we need, folks. That's how we stick it to Bristol Blarney and Josh Abrams and all these people who think, oh, we took YouTube away. Oh, you're done. Nope. Not how it works, folks. So down the final in the last bracket, who do you like out of this one? This is a tough one. We got Bristol Blarney against Luke Noble. I like Bristol. I mean, that's a tough matchup. Yeah.
I don't want to see Noble go out because he's such a wanker. But Bristol's going to beat him.
Then we have Failure Swift against the Chicopee Herpetosaurus.
Ooh, I'm a big Failure Swift fan, so I'm going Failure.
I think Failure's going to win that one. And then that would be Failure Swift now against Bristol. That's tough, man.
Ooh, that's one for the ages, right?
I know, that's a tough one. Tough one, man.
Yeah, I think Bristol will win just simply because she's more current.
Yeah, she's going to win.
And she is completely ratchet.
But it's very ratchet. So that's a tough one. And then in the bottom one, we have Nikki Evans against King Vagrant. I think Nikki Evans is going to run away with that, in my opinion.
Yeah. Nikki Evans is
just like she's going to run train, just like she does in everyone. Then we have Vicky Vicodin against Landon Steele. I like Vicky Vicodin for the upset there.
That is going to be a close one.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Vicky's going to upset Landon there. He's not as current as he was back in the day.
And I think whoever wins that matchup, I think, is going to lose to Nikki Evans. And then talk about a matchup. Whoever I think wins this matchup wins the entire thing. That's my prediction right now. Bristol against Nikki Evans.
Yeah, big matchup. Matchup. And that could go either way. I think that's the biggest competition she's going to see. Revolting that Nikki Evans. Do you know what the thing that turned my stomach the most? When it was the story about the funeral of her husband.
Oh, I know. The Lizzo part. Oh, my God.
To it, and she just turned it into almost a party for her.
That is the most ratchet thing I've ever heard, playing goddamn Lizzo. A song about infidelity at a fucking wake for a guy who killed himself because you cheated on him. What a piece of shit.
Yeah.
What a piece of shit. Oh, my God. So I think whoever wins that is probably going to win the whole thing, although Bristol against Abrams in the Final Four, that could be a matchup for the ages as well.
Oh, that's a beauty.
Yeah.
That's a beauty.
It's a beautiful thing, folks. So we're going to continue our next round Monday through Thursday, and by this time next week, we'll have a Sweet 16, and then things are going to get really interesting. So if you guys have any more questions you want to ask us before we call it a night, that'd be great for David or myself. That'd be great. Feel free to ask away. Let's see. All right. Any questions? I'll read what I can. Let's see. People are saying Nikki killed herself. Yeah, Nikki fucking Baskin. I met Nikki when she was fat, and she wasn't even a fat chick with a good personality. I know that's a good point. That's a good point. If you're a fat chick with a bad personality, you're terrible. Let's see. People say Bristol beats Josh because she thinks she's better than him. Bristol versus Abrams was written in stone centuries ago. Well done, David Mate. Excellent show. Ask David how Boris is doing. He's doing better. You know.
Yeah, he's out of intensive care. Yeah, he's still in hospital, but he's been moved off intensive care.
Yeah. Whoever asked that, Casey, TV Daily News was working today. I voted on there. You can also vote on the Turtleboy site. I put it on both. What do you think of Brady on Stern? You thought it was a snooze fest. I thought it was very interesting, the M-Job. I thought it was a really interesting thing. A couple things that came out. Number one, that we found out that he knew he was leaving going into the year. And the other part that I found fascinating was that this is really interesting. Did you notice Trump asked Tom Brady to speak at the Republican National Convention? That's pretty wild. I think that's very interesting. And he turned him down. How do you, that's crazy that Trump would even ask that Trump would even put Tom Brady, who's not a political person, in that position. I thought that was fascinating. But, all right. Any other questions? Let's see. How much did Dirty Bristol sell her kid for? She wanted the kid, so she didn't sell it for shit. Let's see. Just her soul. That's all it cost her. Any other questions? If you asked one and I missed it, feel free to ask again.
People keep asking, can I speak Welsh? I speak a little smattering. I don't speak a lot. My grandfather was fluent Welsh speaker, but I only speak little bits. I can say the name of that incredibly long town in North Wales. I don't know if you've ever heard of this.
What's it called?
There's a town in Wales called
The fuck? You sound like You sound like Masshole Mitch.
It means. It means St. Mary's Church near the White Aspen Tree near the Whirlpool and St. Tersilio's Church near the Red Cave.
I'll take your word for it, man. Do you have to pronounce it? What the hell is that? That sounds like Webster Lake. We have a lake in Webster that kind of sounds like that. It's literally, I have no idea how to pronounce it. Any other questions, guys, before we call it a night? Truck fire update. I'm in contact with the Bridgewater Police. I'll keep you updated about that as best I can. Anything else, guys? All right. If you guys don't have any questions, let's see. Then I'll give you guys like 15 seconds if you want to ask any more before we call it a night. I always like to give people a shot here. People say so handsome tonight. Terrible. Oh, thank you very much. I didn't know. Is it the Christmas colors? Is that what does it for you? Let's see. So Bristol was beyond the demonetization. Yeah, because it was her video that we got ultimately demonetized for. So, but we get a chance to get it back in 28 days. I don't even want it back, to be perfectly honest with you. Fuck YouTube. At this point, they don't deserve our business. Like, we can literally use their platform and just give, PayPal can get paid instead. I feel like punishing them, not that they give a shit. When can I come on the show? Whenever you fix that caps lock, Eddie Matto. Remember I invited you on once,
I learned how to spell show.
Yeah, exactly. Say you love me, Eldona. I love you, Irish Turtle. I love you. All right, guys. Did you shave the lower deck for this live? That below my pants, is that what she's talking about?
Yeah, the happy trail.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on getting naked for the show. Unless, if you guys donate $500, then we could $500. We'll see what happens.
They will.
Now we're getting somewhere. Nudes, yeah. All right, guys. So if we don't have anything else, I don't care. If I need to whore myself out, I'll whore myself out. You got to do what you got to do, right? Ask Bristol. She rubbed off on me a little bit. You got to do what you got to do. All right. So if you guys don't have anything else, we're going to call it a night, folks. And we will see you guys all on Saturday. We have Western Mass Turtle Girl is going to return to the show on Saturday night. Now that certain legal situations are over with. So we will see you guys all on Saturday. And thank you, David. We loved having you on, and we'll do it again sometime. All right?
That would be great. I've absolutely loved it, as always.
All right, Torres. See ya.